Oh, I'm Mine 10 Jellyfish. Welcome back to Knives, I guess, and I like driving at night, Bigfoot museums, and crying alone in a dark room. But do me a favor and hit that like button or Santa will become lactose intolerant. And we just did a live stream and we went in on this Ozark Trail gift set knife. Yes, it's this thing again. So let's take a look at what we're holding. And first things first, and most importantly, the pocket clip is tip up, which is the Lord's carry. We have got these tan G10 scales. We got thumb studs. Let's flick the studs. And we got about 3 inches of 3CR13 steel. It was going to bother you if I didn't do that. But, so I carried this generally unpleasant experience. There wasn't a lot to like about it, but that was to be expected. Of course, we got our fit and finish issues. And it sucks because they could have actually done something decent with this, but they didn't. So, if you want to see my full breakdown of everything wrong with this thing, check out the video I did earlier on it, but this is about the live stream itself. We did Cardboard Slayer. We harvested all the cardboard meat we possibly could for the cardboard gods in order that he might fill all the shoes of the good boys and girls with pudding. And all good boys and girls deserve their shoe pudding. But, we went in on this thing, and I will say, the edge had issues from the get-go. Right out the gate. It had issues before we even started Cardboard Slayer. Now, I wrote all this stuff down as we were doing it, just so you know, like we're keeping track of it. But I will add the qualifier as I need to do with these videos. This is not the most rigorous, crazy scientific testing. We're just getting a good idea how these steels do. We get reliable results, and we check how much time we spend cutting because I cannot begin to count the number of cuts or number of feet we cut. It's a lot. It is a lot of cuts over the course of a half hour to an hour. No way to keep track of it. If you want to count them yourself, go check out the live stream and have at it. But that out of the way, we do use cut time. That's what it is. So we started off on the tester and we had a 352. And we made it maybe 5 minutes before the cuts were just absolutely garbage. It was not having it. So we did break out. Where'd I put it? The pull-through sharpener that it came with. We broke out the pull-through sharpener that it came with just to see, does it do anything? And no, it actually made it a little bit worse. We did it, we hit a 352 to start, we cut for a couple of minutes, it wasn't having it. We get the pull-through out, and after we did the pull-through sharpener on the tester, we hit 426, 339, and 356 at various points on the blade. So we stopped what we were doing. We got out the Precision Adjust Professional, which thanks for that, guys. And we put an 18 degrees per side edge on it. I figured, all right, I'm going to try to see if I can't learn a bit about using the Precision Adjust Professional on a Tonto, trying to get that right. Tontos aren't easy on that thing either. At least this one wasn't. We did 18 degrees per side, and we got it down to a 132 on the scale. And the edge along here was incredibly uneven. Part of its unreliable cutting before we did Cardboard Slayer, the edge bevel on this thing was just uneven as hell all the way through. Like, there were low spots, there were high spots. Like, I wound up hogging off a lot more material on this than I wanted to. Let's see if the light can get it. Yeah, than I wanted to, trying to get some of those low spots chased out. And of course, you can see right here, I didn't quite get the bevel all the way up properly on this, but I kind of gave up after a while because I was hogging off more material than I wanted here to get rid of low spots. And, on this side, let's see, get some light on this. The exact opposite problem. It's wider here than it is here. Now, I managed to keep this corner right here relatively intact. It's not perfect, but it's better than it's been being. But I had to chase out so many low spots. Like, they did a terrible job with this. And again, it's not a case of local idiot surprised that cheap knife is cheap. I just like finding stuff when it's really cheap and it does better than it's supposed to. Something that is like 10, 15 bucks that winds up being really, really good for the price. It's not going to be as good as, say, a raccoon or something like that. It's not going to be as good as that, but, things that perform better than their price point would suggest. So we sharpened it and we got it down to a 132. We started and we ran that for an hour, and we tested towards the tip and we got 422. Towards the middle here, we got a 436. So I took a break, I ingested my caffeine, and we went back in. And over the next 35 minutes or so, give or take, we hit a 501 up here at the tip and about 443 here in the mid. We stretched it out for another hour. We hit the 2.5 hour mark, and we hit a 491 here and a 553 here towards the middle. And so normal, what I expected out of 3CR13 with that edge on it. At about 10 minutes later, give or take, back to mid, we got a 417. Up towards here, we got a 737, which was a bit of a surprise. A little bit farther forward, we got a 537, and then right out here where the cuts were starting, we got a 624. So regardless of that 737, which it could very well have been, I couldn't quite hit that same spot again on a second test, it was still devastated. We cracked out the pull-through again, and we got it down to a 314 towards the front and a 485 towards the mid here. It did something. I'm not sure how long I'd have to work with this to put a usable edge on it. It won't be a great edge, but it might be a usable edge just to kind of get you out of a pinch. But these pull-throughs are garbage. Like, these pull-throughs are garbage. Like, this is like an absolute last resort. And I do mean last resort. If you can't find the underside of a coffee mug or something like that, then yeah, maybe. This would almost be worth breaking apart and taking just the ceramic pieces to hone the edge. Just hold it and hone your edge a little bit manually. But, these things, those pull-throughs suck. So this thing did exactly what 3CR is supposed to. And if you've got a 3CR or a 4CR, 5CR, any CR series steel, they seem to like a wider bevel at about 18 degrees per side. They seem to be really happy there, and you get the best performance you can get out of those steels with a fairly wide 18 degree per side edge bevel. Now that edge bevel from the top of the bevel to the bottom is just straight down. There is no secondary micro bevel or anything like that. It's just straight all bevel all the time. So, it performed exactly like we expected 3CR13 to perform. No surprises whatsoever. This was kind of to get this thing out of the way, kind of check and see if it was as awful as I thought it was going to be. It wound up being a little bit worse. I knew what to expect with the 3CR13. I knew what to expect with the grind on the blade. I'd already cut a couple pieces of cardboard at work and knew how it felt pushing it through cardboard. What I didn't expect was the ergonomics. This spot right here is a fairly wide channel in between the liners, and they're not really very well chamfered. The $5 word, boys and girls. But that let this right here press down into that gap pretty hard, and it dug in like crazy. This was tore up, and it took maybe 45 minutes an hour to get to the point where it was so tore up that I really did not want to keep cutting. And I cannot tell you how grateful I was for this to finally give out. I haven't even bothered sharpening it back up. This knife is not worth it. This will go on the pile to be forgotten about. But, it was an experience. And unfortunately, I don't feel great, so I had to cut that live stream a bit short. My apologies for that. I wanted to go longer, but physically I couldn't. And we needed to see what this would do, and we needed to see what this would do. I thought I could get more stuff done, but no. So, I love sharing with you what happened during Cardboard Slayer. That is what happened with this thing. Overall, yeah, this thing, oh yeah, the coating on it also took a ton of wear. Like, it took more wear than these coatings on the Ozark Trails have taken that I've seen that I can remember. I might have had other coated Ozark Trails like this show this kind of wear in the past. I don't remember it, but that's everything I think that was important to cover with this thing. It's just, that was an experience overall. Ergonomics sucked. It did what 3CR13 does, and this is throwaway trash. Absolute last resort if you have nothing else, no other resources available. Maybe you get some use out of it. But again, that was Cardboard Slayer with this thing. So all that being said, thanks for looking at my crap. Subscribers, you guys are awesome. Y'all keep coming in. I appreciate you so much. You have no idea. If you haven't subscribed, please do. We got our live streams, regular videos. There's plenty of activities. Hit that like button if you haven't. It helps more than you know. Comments, I love some feedback. Let me know what you think about this whole thing overall. And all that being said, y'all have a nice day.